Hey, it's the Preppy Crafty Girl, and I'm here to show you a vintage Christmas kit I have been working on. I actually have two available in my shop, Preppy Crafty Girl on Etsy, and I will have a link in the subscription below so that you can find my shop and see what I've been listing. So in this kit, I've included a yard of this really cool vintage paper trim. And then I have a bunch of these little drawstring paper pouches. I guess they were a gift bag from the 1950s. And so I decided to, yes, pull them out of my stash and share them with you, along with some vintage sequins in red and green, a couple of game pieces, dice, and 8 vintage buttons. Now these two kits are going to vary a little bit from each other. A lot of the items are the same, but some items are going to be different because they are one of a kind and of course vintage. This kit is jam packed with all kinds of stuff. Here is a handmade layered flower that I made and included. And in this glassine pouch is going to be tickets, and I hand punched using my vintage Dymo labeler a couple of labels for you, and here are some vintage stickers. Now they're not going to be sticky. You're going to have to probably use a glue stick or adhesive because all this stuff is really old. There's some Christmas seals and different holiday stickers. Like I said, this kit is jam-packed. This is a little note card, and these are those gummed labels, the ones that you used to lick and stick. I'm not sure if they're Denison or Hallmark. I wasn't really sure about that. This is jam-packed. I've got a vintage Christmas doily, and this little envelope, I stuffed it full of all kinds of everything that I had in my stash that was Christmas or red and green. So the item itself may not be a Christmas item. However, if it was red or green, then I pulled it. So I have like all kinds of listing cards and recipe cards. This is a kind of a wintry book page, a tally card for bridge, and then I put in a lot of red and green or a numbered card in here. So there's all kinds of cards, or there are game cards. There's also this is from an antique actually game that I had, and then a paper coaster, a garment tag. These are new, but they're Christmas word strips, so I included them. Some more gummed labels, not sure if they were Hallmark or Denison. Christmas sticky note. And then I tossed in, someone had cut out all the sentiments out of Christmas cards, and so I tossed in one of those. This is from a Betty Crocker recipe card. There's an index divider with either a C or an N or an M, something that had to do with Merry Christmas or Noel. And then these are notepads that I had that were red, so I took those. Another score sheet. These are from a typewriter sticker for labeling index cards. That's a vintage tag that I had bought a set of tags off of Etsy and just kind of threw some in. These are bingo sheets. Gosh, I've had forever, and I decided to pull them out. That is a stock from a vintage game that I had about stock markets, stockbrokers or something. There are some receipts and a craft envelope that I brought back from Australia and decided to share with you guys. I have this is hem lace. It's vintage. And the two packs might have a little bit of different varying of colors, like I said, because they are one of a kind things. And these are strips of muslin and some flannel. This is a little golden book. Now each one of these kits is going to have the Christmas Story little golden book, and there is going to be some wear and tear on these books because they are old and they've been well loved, but they're perfect for junk journaling, and all the pages are intact. There may be some kid's name on the front, like as in this one. And I'm also going to show you how some little kid or a dog, I don't know what it was, chewed on the upper right hand corner. But that's an easy fix. Or you may just keep it. It's an easy fix. You could always cover over it with a piece of fabric, or you could put a book corner on that top corner. But I just thought that that was a really sweet book to add in. So each kit will get one of those, and it's the same book. However, the one cover is a little bit darker than the other cover, but that's the only difference. Your kit will include some cutout number cards. If you want to turn this into a December daily, then you'll have numbers to do so, or you could use it for listing or on a calendar or however. This is a vintage flinch card set, and it's numbers 1 through 15. Plus there is also some really nice yarn that came out of an embroidery set that I had bought recently. I think I showed you in my vintage haul. Some of the items in here actually came out of that vintage haul. This is 1950s wallpaper. I got a 1950s wallpaper book, and I just cut out a few pages of the green and red items. So it's not necessarily Christmas, but it is the yummiest paper, and I had to include it. The two white and gold ones, or white damask ones, were vintage rolls that I had purchased at an estate sale. Then you're going to get a set of book pages. That's out of a Betty Crocker book. I just took the Christmas images out. This is some sheet music writing, like to write your own song if you want to, or just journal on. And then these are just random pages out of little Christmas books. I've got a envelope from a Simplicity pattern. The pattern is not in it. You're just going to be getting the envelope, which it'll make a cute page in itself. Or I believe it was from 1981. Or you can just glue it down, use it as a pocket, or you can make a cover for a junk journal too out of it. So here are just random things that had to do with Christmas. That was a list that I bought, a list pad. Here's some more book pages. An old red envelope. And this is like my favorite card. It's so beautiful. The paper is so yummy. It is old and I just love it. An old Hallmark card. One side of this is written on. I'm not really sure what this was, and the other side is not written on. It was some kind of appointment card, but because it was red in it, yeah, I used it. It's a cute little ledger piece of paper. And this is ledger paper from the 1930s ledger that I have. I'm not really quite sure what the ledger was about, but I have a whole ledger, and I just pulled out a couple of pages because the patina of this paper is so yummy. And yes, some of these papers are going to be fragile, so I would suggest backing them or using them in collage. That is a hand-created card front. That is an old Yahtzee game sheet. And now I have some map paper, two nice big sheets. Now this envelope is 12 by 9. So you can see that that's going to be a very large sheet of map paper. I have a stack of assorted different kinds of calicos that have either been thrifted or some might be vintage, and this stack between the two kits I believe is going to be pretty much exact. And there's some flannel in there, just lovely for fabric flips or collaging, or quilt yourself, something for your book. Then I pulled out my stash of vintage Christmas wrapping paper and I am going to share it with you. Yes, you are going to get some different sized sheets of Christmas wrap, and some of it is colored. The patina on this is so beautiful. It's going to look great on your pages. I love this. I didn't have very much of it. I love that ornament paper. This was a holographic bag that was in a box that I bought at an estate sale, so I cut that up because I thought it was really cool. It actually, when you flip it around, it'll look like they're spinning. These are almost like tissue paper. It's wrapping paper, but it's in between wrapping paper and tissue paper. And look at this. Oh, this is so beautiful. I love that one. So 1950s, just gorgeous. Here's like a cityscape that was on a piece of wrapping paper, so I cut that out. Little Santas. Those are almost like Nordic Santas. Snowmen. So some papers, when I had more of the paper, there was a bigger size sheet. I believe this is out of Current. Then there's various pages. So you've got some handwriting papers, some ledger paper. I had a couple green pieces, which I thought was cool. And then there was another Yahtzee game sheet kind of slid in there. And look at this, it came out of a children's reader with the snowman, and I found a song that had the snowman on it. So I thought that was really cute to add in. Now the other kit is not going to have this exact, but it'll have a really cute, it has a page out of that reader, that same reader, and then it'll have different sheet music. This is out of a vintage, I believe 1957 Life magazine. The other one will also have one out of there. So it's just it'll be a different picture. Then you'll get a a word finder page that has to do with Christmas. And then this is out of a Good Housekeeping. The other kit will also have the same but a different image. There's some graph paper and a 1966 ledger I had. Look at that color. This stuff's beautiful. And then I had a couple sheets of typewriter paper and another ledger. So one of these is like onion skin and just yummy unused typewriter paper. And then this is hysterical. So I got a whole stack of these. I don't know what they're from, but they're typewritten, and it is a family letter, and then it was mimeographed. So I just had to include it. Figured it would be nice background fodder for your journal. So this is it. This is the pack that's going to be up on my Etsy shop, and I will have it listed when this video goes up. It'll be listed, and I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff listed into Etsy. I've never had an Etsy shop before, so the whole listing side of it's new to me. So please bear with me. They are packed and ready to go. This pack is, like I said, 9 by 12. You'll be getting all of this wrapped up. It'll be in that plastic envelope and then wrapped with a vintage yard of that white and red Christmas yarn. Thank you so much for watching. Come visit me at my Etsy shop. Come see me on Instagram, The Preppy Crafty Girl. And again, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. And I will see you soon. Thanks for watching and becoming a subscriber.